Hey, D&D Talk. So let's go over the Dungeon Master's Guide, okay? Like just the ideas in it and how they apply to running D&D. Because I feel like as much as the PHB gets discussed, the DMG does not seem to have the same kind of penetration. So let's start. So, literally, the first thing that the DMG tells us is that we are the master of the world, along with the master of adventure and the master of rules. But let's talk about this for a second. What does this mean? When you are the dungeon master, you are the person who creates the world. Easy enough, right? Now, understand that this is not a constant across tabletop role playing, and there's going to be a division between what is D&D and what is just TTRPGs. And they are not, okay, I wrote 2 R's. And they are not in and of themselves the same. There is a bridge that connects them, and many of the ideas in D&D have become TTRPG standards. But in the same way, many of the TTRPGs that want to define themselves do so by defining themselves away from D&D. And so when you think about being the master of the worlds and kind of having your book that you fill in and you throw in, different places and you throw in different characters and you throw in different monsters, um, all of those things that you're throwing in here to feed into the players are something that in other games, sometimes the players put together, or sometimes nobody puts together because they're all randomized, and sometimes, they're fed through somebody who is not at the table. They're just, this is what you fight in the game, think board games. And so this first step, this first key piece of the D&D puzzle is that the person running the game is the person who made the world. And that connection is the first step towards being a DM. This is specific to D&D, 5th edition. Really all of the editions, but we're only talking about 5th edition D&D. And so when you look at something like Master of Worlds, think about that. Think about the fact that in this game, you're specifically being tasked to create a world and fill it with things and fill it and make it consistent with itself. It doesn't matter if you stole the world, it doesn't matter if you're running, Ultima Online or Genshin Impact or whatever. The world has to be consistent, and how you run it and how you present it is the first step. You are the master of worlds. And with that in mind, let's move forward into Master of Adventures. But remember, this is a D&D thing. And that's going to be true for everything we talk about. It's not how to play TTRPGs, it's how to play 5e. Make sense?